You've just tuned in to the nexus of inspiring, encouraging, and uplifting leaders who share their successes and their failures. Insights that will motivate, cultivate, educate, and illuminate your path to a very bright future. Welcome to Shaping the Future podcast. Here's your host, Gregg Kell.
Welcome to the next episode of Shaping the Future podcast. And today we're going to meet Glenn Douglas, the CEO of LA Custom Pools and Spas in beautiful Yucaipa, California. Glenn, introduce yourself. Tell us just a little bit about you.
Thank you, Greg. My name is Glenn Douglas, born and raised here in California, and really love Southern California. I got my first little involvement in what I do and what I love to do is swimming pools back in my early years, as my dad was a laborer in the industry. And so I grew up around this business. I am married to my beautiful wife, who's also my partner in life and in business. And we have 3 beautiful children. I have a daughter at UC Davis. I have 2 sons in high school. That's Emily, Zachary, and Gabriel.
Thank you, Glenn, for sharing a little bit about your background, your professional and your personal history. Glenn, our Future Shapers audience are passionate about entrepreneurship and innovation as keys to generating higher productivity, profits, and business growth. Tell me, Glenn, what are you most passionate about today?
Well, passion is what my industry is all about. I love this passionate for what I do. And I would say that in my industry, we are kind of in the forefront out here in California in what we do. We build backyard environments. And so I'm like a kid in a candy store with other people's money that want to develop a backyard environment that's just to their liking. It says a lot of who they are and what they do. So we build projects off cliffs. We build projects above ground. We build projects in water tables that are below the ocean. And so we have so many unique environments we work on. I just love to create those backyards for my clients.
It seems to me that you are passionate about building unique background environments. You're a builder. You like to make stuff, the challenge. Is that right? How long have you been doing this?
Oh, I've been, we founded this company back in 1995. We had our first project in 97, and we've been built over 1,000 projects during that time period. But my industry dates back to my high school years, where I was actually in the summer times working in this industry and put myself through college working in this industry. So it dates way back to, if I'm dating myself, probably 1978, 77.
78, that would be about 40 years you've been out there building stuff in backyards. Excellent. So you've seen a lot. You've seen some ups and you've seen some downs. You probably understand that life sometimes throws us a curveball. Can you share with our Future Shapers audience, Glenn, maybe a short story about your worst experience as a builder with LA Custom Pools and Spas?
Well, specifically on a project, there's not been a worst experience, but in business, the downturn that we had, that we just come out of, was probably our very worst environment that we had to work with. And all I can say is this: your disciplines that you have going into business will either carry you through or turn you away when a downturn hits. And so fortunately, our conservative nature, our ability to not be so capitally invested and maintain a level business sense, we were able to manage going from a $4 million a year company to less than $1 million a year company overnight. So that was our worst experience in the pool industry.
Things change. Sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes the way we want them to, sometimes not so much, but you got to roll with the punches. But you shared a value bomb here that your discipline in business will either pull you through the challenges that are in front of you, or that will take you away, pull you down, when inevitably we deal with the challenges that come in life. Excellent. What lesson did you learn from coming through that challenge and emerging on the other side as the successful leader you are today?
Well, the lessons carry us many different ways. The personal lesson that I gained was one day, real quick, a little side note. My wife and I were working in the backyard and we were tearing things up, and out of nowhere, we found this complete, fully grown carrot in our backyard. And my wife and I looked at each other, and that carrot became our lifeline. It was, no matter how difficult things are, God will provide. And so we took that carrot, we set it up in our kitchen, and it was there for years while we were going through the difficult times. And every time we looked at that carrot, we realized God will provide.
Amen. Looking to God's provision, and more importantly, living within that provision. That sometimes can be a challenge.
It's really, it comes down to the heart of the individual you are and how you carry yourself. Everybody has the opportunity to live life the way they want to live life. For us, we choose to God is the center of our lives and what we do, and everything from there is the efforts that we put in and the efforts that we're going to reap and reward.
Sowing and reaping. I like that stuff. Okay. Here we are at the beginning of the second quarter of 2018. When you look forward in 2018, Glenn, what is your single most important business goal that's on your plate at this time?
Our most important business goal at this time is to be able to handle the demand that is out there in our industry, because we have lost so many great competitors that right now the economy in our local area has improved, and it may have only improved 4 or 5%, but it has more than tripled our business this year from last year. So our most important goal is to be able to handle the demand that our clients desire.
Now, is that from the people, the teams that is LA Custom Pools? Are you talking about people that will help you with that goal?
I'm talking about, yes, we're in a mode where we need to hire, and we're in a mode where we don't just want to hire a body. We want to hire somebody that will effectively be a part of our greater team from this point forward. So back in the old days, my dad used to say a body is better than no body. But that philosophy in my industry just does not work.
How do you intend to achieve that primary goal?
Well, the primary goal in our industry is to, we have it's actually a challenge, Greg. We have an issue in our industry where, we have not trained people in our industry for about a decade. And this is, for the most part, industry wide. And so, as the downturn hit, our quality workers out there left the state and went other places where productivity was better. And the ones that stayed, they've now are 10 years older. So we have this generational gap that right now we have to develop an apprentice program for the upcoming employees that we intend to hire.
Interesting. And what concerns do you have about your ability to find the right kind of self-motivated people that are able to be trained so that they can do things in the LA Custom Pools and Spas way to produce the outstanding, beautiful background environments that you're known for creating?
Well, I look for self-motivated individuals, but I also look for different personalities. Because if everybody were like me, we would be one ship with the same personality, and we would only really be effective to a certain group of people. We have to know and understand our client base. And so not only have the talent to work out in the field, but also the ability to be able to communicate and relate to all of our clients.
The talent, self-motivation, the ability to learn, the ability to work, and the ability to communicate. That's a tall order in finding those right people. How do you intend to overcome this challenge?
Well, it's not a matter of overcoming. It's a matter of pursuing. You have to continue to pursue. And it's like, how would you put it? You put the flywheel in motion, and you slowly integrate people into the company until you find that perfect match. And when you do, then that flywheel just continues to turn and turn and turn. And pretty soon, next thing you know, 2-3 years later, you have yourself a very good long-term employee.
Excellent. Okay, so we're going to change gears here. We're going to go into the Wayback Machine. Way back. We're talking back when you're in high school, back when you're in college. You're working your way through college, building pools and ultimately beautiful backyard environments. And you think, hey, maybe I can do this on my own. Maybe I can start my own business. Think of that time and tell us, what was holding you back when you decided to form what would become LA Custom Pools and Spas?
Well, I can tell you to the point that in 1995, I went down and got my contractor's license. In 97, we opened the doors to LA Custom Pools. In the transition, I was from the late 80s to the early 90s. I was working in the gunite industry, which is a form of the structure of your swimming pool, and working with my dad. And I had to disassociate in 95 because I knew I was opening the doors to LA Custom Pools. And so there would have been a conflict of interest. So the most important thing that was the toughest hurdle to opening the doors was I got a job at Stanley Works Corporation representing their products to architects and engineers. And it was like the golden handcuffs. I had a great job. I had great benefits. I had a company car, was making plenty of money. And I turned to my wife and I said, okay, honey, it's time. And there was silence.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun. Yeah, there was silence. And because, it's a pivotal time. We just had a child. We were just getting ready to move. And now we were going to open up our own company. So these are decisions that entrepreneurs make. And we did. We delved right in and off we went.
How did you overcome that challenge? Because there's a gap. Mm-hmm. There's a gap between the peace and comfort and the consistency and the stuff you get with the benefits of working for somebody else. But then you need to cross that gap to step out on your own where you don't have any of that stability when it's really not. How did you overcome that, Glenn?
Well, it's all hard work, Greg. It's hard work. It's a great business plan. It's dedication. It's long hours, long evenings, early mornings, but it's a path that you choose to take, and you understand the ramifications of the effort day in and day out until you can get things running the way you want them to run.
Hard work, dedication, effort. I would add a little bit of courage to that mix. Here's an important question. Why? Why did you form LA Custom Pools all the way back there? What is your why statement?
Oh, my why. I can tell you why, because I love this industry. My dad was in it in the early 60s. I had a friend in junior high school who was a professional swimmer, breaststroke swimmer, and he ended up being on the Sports Illustrated cover at the 7th grade. Okay. Wow, this is phenomenal. So he later went on to be in the Olympics and set the world record in the breaststroke.
His name?
John Moffat.
Okay.
John Moffat. John, if you're out there, hello, it's Glenn. Hey, for me, I found that I love what I do. My clients love what we do. I've gotten so much feedback over the years that it generates a positive energy that carries me every day.
Okay, now Future Shapers, we're going to fast forward to today. Glenn, describe to us your ideal client today.
Great question, Greg. My ideal client today is someone who understands that they want a backyard environment, and that their backyard environment is more than just a vessel in the ground. It's everything from inside the home to outside the home, because we bring the backyard into the home. And so somebody that has a theme that they are aspiring to create. So for example, we built a project for a French European composer. So the backyard environment had to give that flavor of a French European environment. So my ideal client understands that there's a process, there's a purpose, and there is the ability to contact somebody like LA Custom Pools who understands that we're going to take a little time to get to know them so that we can create the environment they're looking for.
Sounds to me like you don't just build pools. You don't dig holes in the ground with gunite and put water in it. There's a creative aspect to what you do. It's a creativity and personalized approach that ultimately helps satisfy that individual client. Am I off base here?
No, you're right on track. Very rarely do we just build a swimming pool in the backyard. We encompass the entire backyard. And so we work directly with landscape architects. We work directly with engineers, and we build structures in the backyard. We do outdoor sound systems, lighting, barbecues, patio covers. We're creating an outdoor experience that our clients are desiring out here in Southern California.
Excellent. Okay. So we're talking about at least about 17 years since you were incorporated. Mm-hmm. And in that time, you have seen some ups and some downs. You have built a thriving business that is impacting our local community. Glenn, that's part of the reason why we're here today with this interview. My question is, I'll bet you didn't do all of this on your own. You might have received some good advice from someone that you respect. Please share with our Future Shapers audience the single best piece of advice that has helped you become the success that you are today.
The best piece of advice is always speak the truth. You'll never have to worry about what you say. And that's what my clients will get from me, is the truth. I will tell them what they don't want to hear. I will tell them what actually should be. and I will tell them that I will take care of things, but I will never tell them something that I cannot do and tell them that I can. So the best piece of advice is you never have to look over your shoulder wondering, did I say this? Did I say that? And it's really simple, very simple.
A value bomb dropped by Glenn Douglas today. Always tell the truth. Might I add just a little bit? With love.
Love, caring, concern. We embrace all those things with my clients. What we do, Greg, is we don't build backyards. We build relationships. We build long-lasting relationships with our customers. We're in their yard for 2 to 3 months. They become friends. They become family. And so that's been a very positive, rewarding for not only me, but for everyone that works with us. We really love our clients.
Excellent. Glenn, switching bases here. We in the Future Shapers believe in reading. We like to read. We like books. And I wonder, is there a book that you might recommend to the Future Shapers audience and why?
Great question, Greg. Now, for those of you that have a lifestyle like mine, reading at the table is not something that I get to do often, but books on tape. Audible is awesome. And, oh, golly, I would say probably from a business perspective, going from good to great. It was a great series of books on tape there that probably if any of you had the opportunity to do that, I would recommend it because you would reap the benefit of some great words of wisdom from those who have gone through it.
Thank you, Glenn. We in the Future Shapers understand that simple actions and habits consistently expressed over time work together to yield an excellent future. And that is the basis of our shaping the future. Tell me, Glenn, what are you doing now to shape your future?
Great question. Actions and habits. I would say that right now, the future, you have 2 opportunities here to look at the future. Either you're looking at it from a positive perspective or you're looking at it from a negative perspective. There are so many things in this world going wrong, but yet there's so many things in this world that is going right. And so for us, the actions that we choose to take looking forward is a positive approach to our industry. And we are on the forefront of a changing environment. You have to understand where things are going, not where things have been, in order to be successful. And right now, where things are going in our industry, with a few simple little scenarios, is I'll give you a rundown of how things have changed. If I were to look backwards, I would have people answering phones all day long. Unfortunately, today, nobody calls. It's all on the internet. It's all social media. It's all responses from our website. Sometimes I get to a home for the first time and have never spoken a word to a client. So is that a negative? Well, it's unfortunate, but what do we do about it? Well, we adjust because that's how the buying client consumer now is trying to reach out to us. So we can't fight that. We have to embrace that.
Another value bomb dropped by Glenn Douglas. Meet the client where they're at in the way in which they would like to be interacted with.
That is correct, Greg.
And things change. People change.
Media
changes. You got to keep up with it.
Communication has changed. Now, once we get in front of a client, it's back to the basics, back to normal. We have a face-to-face relationship and we carry that through. And then all of a sudden, I'll get communication, but it's in the form of text. It's in the form of emails. It's in the form of Very rarely is it in the form of a phone call. So that's a new adjustment in our industry that we have to deal with.
Adjust and stay ahead. Excellent. Okay. Changing the subject again. We in the Future Shapers believe that our nation, our country, could be at a tipping point. Some people say we're always at a tipping point. Some people say now is unique. My question to you, Glenn, is what is America to you?
Well, America to me right now is basically where we're at. We're at a point of great, opportunity. America is all about opportunity. And the opportunity of today's political environment is that we have an opportunity now to discuss all of these important aspects of our own beliefs, because they're all out there on the table to discuss. The most important thing that I can share with you, Greg, and with your listeners here is take any moment of opportunity to try to have a discussion and listen politically to the other side and try to open up areas of conversation, because really this is a great opportunity for us to embrace our differences so that we can move forward.
Sounds like big advice from Glenn Douglas today. Embrace our differences, listen to the other side, and seek to build consensus rather than discord.
That's exactly right. It's as simple as that, guys.
Simple, but not easy.
No, not easy. I didn't say easy, but it starts with you and I. You and I, whether we agree or disagree, we need to agree to disagree.
Excellent, Glenn. Thank you for sharing with our Future Shapers audience today. Can you please share with the listeners now how they could contact you and maybe what they might receive when they do contact you?
Absolutely. If you're in the market of deciding to build an outdoor environment, a backyard swimming pool, spa, barbecue, fireplace, you're welcome to call us. Okay, we're on every social media page that you can find, Instagram, Facebook. We have our website. But the bottom line is you start with LA Custom Pools, www.lacustomPools.com. You can get us there. You can call us at 909-794-9772. That's our telephone number. You can reach out to us in many ways. I just want you to know that we embrace about 100-mile radius from our office here in Yucaipa. We've done pools in over 63 cities in 4 counties throughout Southern California.
Excellent. Thank you, Glenn, for sharing today. You've dropped a couple good value bombs and a lot of really good insight from your experience as the CEO of LA Custom Pools and Spa. Future Shapers, get ready. Thank you for listening to this episode, and get ready because we are working on the next. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for joining this episode of Shaping the Future podcast. We leave you, Future Shapers, with this challenge. Act boldly today to shape your future, because if you don't, it will absolutely be shaped for you.